and pack this place. I mean, it's kind of neat looking out here and seeing that, hey, we're filling up the sides, the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors up here. That's a great thing to see. Hopefully you're excited for the school year. I know the staff is excited. I know last year we had a great year. This year we're looking for bigger and better. I know there's people out there that have put a lot of time in to make this a great year for you. Hopefully you put the time and energy into making the year great for yourself also. What I'm going to start to do today, this is something new. We've never done it before, but I thought this is a great thing to do to kick off the year. Kind of go over a few basic rules, introduce some of the administrative and student services staff to you, and then got a little video here at the end. So first of all, I'd like to start by introducing the office staff. I know not everyone's here, but we'll start with the student services side. Mrs. Skubik, you should know, she is the secretary. And if you didn't know, when you come in the main door, the administration doors, on the left-hand side is student services. I know a lot of you know where the guidance office is, because I've seen you in the last 2 days with ad drops. But that's the student services side. She's the secretary on that side. Mr. Hutchings is our Dean of Students, who does attendance, as well as athletic director. Mr. Hutchings, kind of raise your hand. I want you to be able to put, oh, that's kind of nice. I want you to be able to put a face with a name. That's the whole idea of this. I know some of you have been around here, but we've got a lot of new students and our incoming freshmen. Mrs. Smith is guidance counselor. She's in the back there in the middle. We'll give her some love. She has the sophomores and seniors. So if you ever have scheduling problems, need someone to talk to, that's the person to go to. The one in charge of freshmen and juniors is new to our staff this year, and that's Mr. Kuiper, and he's also in the back. Mr. Juban, I don't believe is here. He's going to be with us this year, Wednesday through Friday. That's his schedule. If there's a need to talk to him on like a Monday or a Tuesday, stop at the guidance office, let us know. We will figure something out. Our school psychologist is also new this year. That's Mrs. Massini. Is she here? Don't see her. She's actually in 3 buildings. She's at the middle school, the IS, and the high school. She will be in our building Wednesdays and Thursdays. So if you have an opportunity, stop in and welcome her. On the administration side, we have Mrs. Blaine. She's the secretary. I know many of you know her already. I'm Mr. Hamann. I'm new to this position. I'm assistant principal. My office is on the student services side. It's next to Mr. Hutchings' office. Mrs. Rakowski is our associate principal. She also is the director of transportation for the district. Her office is on the administrative side. Mrs. Rakowski, give them a little applause. It might be the only time all year you get applause, so we gotta let you have it. And Mr. Miller is the principal. He's also on the administrative side. A few basic rules and some information I want to cover, because I know last year there was some indecisiveness, what you can do, what you can't do. I'm going to hit on the main things. I know that you have a student handbook. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. And you should read through that. You should know that handbook. But one of the biggest things we're faced with is cell phone use. When and where can I use it? Okay? Well, obviously, that cell phone by handbook is supposed to be off and out of sight. Not on vibrate and right there underneath my desk. Okay? It's off and out of sight, and the only exception is during your lunch hour in the cafeteria is something we started last year. You can have your cell phone. That doesn't mean my lunch period's third hour, 3A or 3B, okay? It's only in the lunchroom, not in your classroom. Your teachers will probably take your phone the first time they see it. You'll pick it up from them after school. Second time, they'll be handing it off to Mrs. Rakowski or myself, and you'll have to get it from us. By the third time, that phone is hanging in our office until your parents come pick it up. So please follow that. I know it's a temptation. You've been using it all summer. Some of you are addicted to that cell phone right now. You just got to put it away for a little bit. So obviously, that is something we don't want to do. So the basic rule is turn it off, put it away. Hats and hoodies. Okay, and I know again, a lot of you wear hats all the time. You're coming in from outside. It's easy to forget. You know, so when someone tells you to take it off, just take it off and get it to your locker as soon as possible. And that's going to be the big one. There is no reason to be carrying a hat with you from class to class. All that is the temptation for you to put it back on again. And the hoodies, same thing. Let's try to keep the hoodies down. This goes for stocking hats. Girls, I know you wear fashionable hats. All that does apply. There are times, though, throughout the school year that we have certain fundraisers. I know the student council does one. Pay $1, you can wear a hat today. Or if it's our homecoming week, and if it applies to whatever the activity is, yes, you can wear a hat then. So there are times you have those opportunities. So what I want to point out to you is definitely try to remember to do it before entering school and put it in your locker. I know the other day someone said they're only here for one period. Well, then it shouldn't even be coming out of your car. Keep it in your car, go to class, and then you're off to GABC or wherever you're headed. Clothing restrictions. This one's tough because, again, you're coming off the summer. Yes, Jessica Simpson. Daisy Dukes. Some of you remember, some of you don't. But short shorts. I know the last 2 days I've seen a lot of violations of short shorts. Okay? A lot has been said yet, but Mrs. Rakowski and myself, and hopefully teachers will be helping us with this. You know, use some common sense here. This is not summer apparel. You are at school. Shorts need to be school appropriate. That's what we ask. If you have question about is this long enough, it's probably not. Okay, if you got to ask yourself that. So keep that in mind. Also, no, this is not Coach Johnson. I tried to get a picture of him in his tank top, but this is the closest I could get. But sleeveless shirts. Your shirts must have a sleeve. Okay? And here's another example of a shirt without a sleeve. Yes, nice shirt to go out on the weekend, but not school appropriate. My favorite, food. Okay? Food in the hallways. Last year, this is probably one of our biggest concerns. First of all, Gatorade, yes, you can buy this in our cafeteria, and if you don't know by now, the cafeteria is open before school. For some of you that are new, they do have some breakfast items in there. The food stays in the cafeteria. If you are taking something for later, then it should go right to your locker and stay there. The Gatorades need to be closed up. Janitors spent way too much time last year cleaning up spills in the hallway of Gatorade. And there should be never a time that that's in your classroom. Water is allowed in your classroom, bottles of water, but that's it. Little Debbie's. Some of you, that's your lunch. I've seen 5 or 6 Little Debbie's go off on a tray. Keep it in the lunchroom again. Should not be eaten in the hallways. Okay? And then the last one is your tray. Last year, people started taking their trays to the classroom to eat. There should never be a time you take your tray to the classroom. You eat in the cafeteria. If you don't want to eat in the cafeteria, then you need to talk to us or your teacher. We'll figure out, what you're going to do. But you're probably going to stay in the cafeteria during that time and just talk to your friends and not eat. Or if you want to work in the classroom and that teacher don't mind, that's up to them. But we definitely are not taking trays out of the cafeteria. The parking pass. Starting Friday, because Mrs. Skubik's been quite busy in the office with lockers, parking passes, applications will be passed out on Friday. Some of you already have picked them up. Some of you have already turned those in. If you are a sophomore, junior, or senior, and you are driving to school, you must have a parking permit. It's a little thing that hangs. Is that the kind we got this year, Mrs. Zukowski? The hanging ones or the stickers?
No, they're stickers.
The stickers? Okay. But you need to get that parking permit. To get that parking permit, you need three things. You need your driver's license, your registration, and proof of insurance. Updated proof of insurance. You have those three things, bring in your application. They will copy those, keep them on file, and you'll get your permit. Along with that, and try to have that in by Monday, Tuesday at the latest. We'd like to have that done because we keep track of the cars in the parking lot, and if we have an emergency, we need to know whose car that is. We can find out right away. Also, park between the yellow lines. I know Mr. Schmidt, and Mr. Olson, and Mrs. Trotter and Mr. McDowell, all our driver's ed instructors have taught you the proper way to park. Please do so. In handicap parking, no. It's off limits, and if it persists, there will be tickets handed out, and I think the fine was $250 for parking in a handicapped spot. That is a safety thing, if no other reason, on parking properly. And I know Mrs. Rakowski, I've talked to a lot of you about that, but that's what it comes down to, is a safety issue if for no other reason. The handbook page. Most of you have your handbooks. You need to read through it. It doesn't hurt if your parents read through it, but we need to have that signed and turned in. Okay? This goes to your first hour teacher. This says that I have looked through the handbook and I know the rules and regulations of what I need to abide by here. Make sure you print your name, circle your grade level. You must sign it and date it, okay, and then turn it into your CCT teacher. Your first hour teacher. Try to no later than Thursday to have that done. Mr. Miller, what was our other one you want me to mention? Oh, early release. Right. During early release time, some of you have that because you have the early bird class, so you get a release period. When you head out to your cars, you can go out the west door or any door to get to your car. When you return, do not pound on the doors, okay? That's not the objective. You are to go around to the admin building, the admin entrance, and enter that way. That's the north entrance to the front of the building that most of you, when you get dropped off, come in the morning. At this time, I want to, we're going to show a little video here.